You guys, so I watched Coming to America Part 2 and I thought it was gonna be fun for me to just do a quick review and just say what I think about it. If you guys have not watched it and you want to, it's gonna be a spoiler alert. So I'm just letting you know, log off right now. You can watch and come back to my commentary if you would like, but if you don't care and you're like, spill all the tea, then this is the video for you. All right, so I will just share some of the highlights that I thought, and at the end I'll just share some of the pros, some of the cons, or I guess what I like about it and what I don't, and if I would recommend it to you guys. All right, so many fun moments, to be honest. Like, there are so many moments that I actually really laugh, and for me in movies it's really hard, but those are kind of far in between because it wasn't like funny to me, but the ones that the parts that are funny are really funny. So it kind of starts up with, and I'm going to be making reference to my note here because I can't even pretend like I know all their names. But Prince Akim, Prince Akim, his dad was dying. So James Earl Jones's character was dying. So that was like the first scene. So it started up really solemn. Father was dying, and then there was this character, which I don't know where they found this person, I tell you, but it made me remember, I don't know if you guys remember Lion King. If you're a real Lion King fan, you remember this monkey type character that was kind of the oracle. You know, that was, you know, kind of predicting what was going to happen and all of that. That infamous Simba. He was the one that raised up Simba when he was a baby. So that character, they had someone, like a human being. I don't know if it was digitally made, but it looked so convincing. But someone that kind of looks like that character, and that person looked like a oracle, even in this even the Coming to America too. So this oracle type person was telling the prince that he had a son, and the son was, you know, well, whatever, he had a son, and he kind of gave reference to where he'll find the son. Somebody that just came out of nowhere. That scene was actually hilarious, but there was a challenger, maybe another, like this guy looked like someone in the army force, and was challenging Prince Akim, and he actually made reference to the fact that he didn't have a son, because at that point it looked like he had 3 daughters. So the oracle type person then told Prince Akim that he actually does have a son, and the son is, he just made reference to where the son was. So then Prince Akim and Sami decided to go to Queens to go look for the son. You know, before that they showed the 3 daughters. The first daughter, all 3 girls were absolutely drop dead gorgeous. There was a scene where all 3 of the daughters were fighting, or I guess they were fighting or training with Prince Akim, and it reminded me of Wakanda. So they kind of portrayed that figure of, you know, woman empowerment, you know, women that are fierce. So I think that was a good like pull from those really powerful Black movies. But yeah, that was that scene. So pretty much the firstborn apparently has been preparing all her life to, you know, I guess to take on the throne or to be the crown princess once the father, you know, became the king. So once King Earl's character died, it was gonna be Akim, and then the daughter would be the princess, you know, the heiress. However, once this oracle person said he had a son, so he was determined to find that son in Queens, coupled with the fact that this challenger person kept mocking him that he has only daughters. So fast forward to when he went to before that, they actually showed a little bit of his son's character, and his name was Lavelle in the movie. So it was just like a struggling, he recently graduated, or I don't even know if he graduated. No, he didn't graduate. It was something, he didn't graduate, but he was like pretty much a struggling person over in New York, and he was looking for a job. And I like the fact that they showed one of his job interviews where he was talking to this guy in Saturday Night Live. I don't remember his name anymore, but the kind of were making reference to some of the Black and white privileges, because they started the interview, and long story short, it seemed like this white interviewer had this whole thing handed to him, and meanwhile this Lavelle guy had to fight for everything that he had. So that was not really relevant, but it just kind of goes to show that he was a struggling guy in New York and just trying to get a job. So so fast forward to when Sami and Prince Akeem came to New York, you know, so there was something that the oracle told him that made him know where the boy was. So he found the boy, told him that he was the he was a father, and then of course the boy didn't believe. It's like, well, you know, where are you coming from? You said. Long story short, they found his mom. It was the boy's birthday. It was Lavelle's birthday. So they went over to his mom's house, and the mom was Leslie Jones, and that was the character. Well, Leslie Jones played the character of his mom, and so Morgan, I don't remember. That was his uncle. So anyways, they went to the house of the mom. It was the boy's birthday. I think he turned 8. I don't know how old he was. Don't quote me. Probably 18. So they just showed, like, it looked like a pretty struggling family. They had this tiny birthday cake for him. So the boy came in with Prince and Prince Akeem and Sami, and while they were talking, and she was like, you know, this is my son, blah blah. The mom was arguing. All of a sudden, Sami's, I'm sure you guys probably saw that in the preview. Sami's suitcase just fell open, and all this gold, money, everything just spilled out of the box. Immediately the boy was like, yep, I found my father. And you know, they just packed up, literally 2 suitcases or whatever they packed. Very tiny thing. They gave all the rest of their stuff to the family members, and they headed to I forgot the name of the village now. They headed to that place, whatever the village was in Africa. So as upon arrival, you know, of course, the sort of acclamation that you'd expect, you know, just the sheer shock of everything. Literally the same way Prince Akeem was woken up the very first in the very first movie. You know how all the servants, the bathing, all of that stuff. So they had that again for the boy. The boy was just in paradise. He had the bathers, he had the people doing flowers, he had all the things. So of course, you know, the 3 girls, it sort of caused a rift, because it's like, okay, especially the first daughter, who everybody legitimately thought she will be, you know, the heiress, and she will be the crowned princess once Prince Akeem becomes king. So of course that didn't happen. So there was this little thing around the dining table where the girl got upset, you know, because all of a sudden this guy came out of nowhere and, you know, is about to assume prince. So Leslie's I guess her role, it was just pure comedy, you know, but she surprisingly got along with the queen. She wore her clothes and everything. Anyways, fast forward to the Lavelle. So he had this person that cut his hair, you know, the hairstylist or whatnot. So he started talking to the hairstylist about, you know, how he just doesn't feel right. Like this just, like his world just changed upside down. Like pretty much he just doesn't feel right. So the hairstylist then started talking to him and giving him all the rundown, the history of how, you know, the guy reminds everyone of Prince Akeem when he was that age, and how he just wanted to find love himself and all these things. And, you know, and all of a sudden now it's almost like he's become like, it's almost like he's fallen into tradition. Like pretty much everyone thought he was going to change things. Like he'll be the first person, you know, to have a daughter heiress. Like he'll pretty much change tradition. But as the years have gone by, literally he's just following in his father's footsteps. So that was what the hairstylist was talking to Lavelle rather. So they had that really heart-to-heart conversation. Before I actually go into that, you guys, everything's just coming like popcorn. But one of the coolest part of the movie was this was before they went to Africa. So rewind. Before they went to Africa, the father, the Earl Jones's character, told Prince Akeem that he actually wants to be in his own funeral. That he wants to have this funeral when he's alive. Oh, and I thought that was a cool concept. I'm sure a bunch of people would probably start doing that, especially people that think they're near death. They just want to, you know, experience what people will say about them. So that was a funny one. They had the dancers. They had, you know, really cool choreographed dances. We had Morgan Freeman, who came. His character was really funny. We're just saying how giving a big, powerful tribute was very funny. of how the world won't be the same anymore without the king, da, 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 and you know, all of that. So anyways, that was a cool part. So let's get back to the present time. So what else happened? So then they sort of kind of they started showing the oldest daughter, you know, started warming up to the Laval guy. And then all of a sudden, the guy eventually falls in love with this hairstylist woman, and just told Prince Hakeem that, you know, this is not for him. He's found his true love, and he's going to Queens, and he's gonna go get married. So they take off. They went. I don't know if he actually told them. I don't think he told them. I think he just took the girl and he went to New York. So, anyways, upon arriving at New York, Prince Hakeem and Sami. Actually, Prince Hakeem then decided to go over to New York to go get his son, right? So he goes to New York. Then they showed those three guys. Remember those three barbers that they were all played by Eddie Murphy. So so all three guys were there. I mean, they were old in the first movie anyway, so they were older in this movie. So of course they had their little banter. They were always arguing. They were talking all these things. Even where the boy was getting married. So he scurries to where the boy was getting married, interrupts the procession, and pretty much said he wants to take the boy home. And the boy was like, nope. This is who I found. I'm in love with this lady. Blah blah. So long story short, Prince Hakeem said, you know what? I'm just gonna take you and I'm gonna bring Queens to. I don't know why I want to say Wakanda. I forgot the name of this place. I forgot the name. But anyways, I'll put the name here while I'm editing. But bring Queens to the country in Africa. So, so when he says that, they just showed the scene, the wedding. I guess Teyana Taylor. So Teyana Taylor's character actually. I missed a whole scene. So Teyana Taylor's character was remember I told you about this challenger at the beginning of the movie that was making fun of him. So that the challenger apparently is the sister to the lady in the first movie that everything that was groomed for the king, everything the king said, you know, she obeyed the king. Like pretty much that was how she was raised. So everything the king said she wanted, she was gonna do. Remember that scene where Eddie Murphy's character Prince Hakeem said bark like a dog? So pretty much just showed that she'd been barking all through all through her life, because she came again and made an appearance where the brother, the challenger, said, you know, see what you did to my sister, and she came and she continued barking. That was a funny one. So anyways, Teyana Taylor's character in the movie was the challenger's daughter. So Teyana Taylor was supposed to be married to Laval. So she was supposed to be the one, you know, with the arranged marriage. But at the, I guess, I don't know if it was the actual wedding itself or it was an event for both of them. So that was when Laval realized that he just couldn't do this, because it was so funny. Teyana Taylor's character was also like the first lady, was also like her aunt, where she was barking, where she was saying everything the king asked her, or everything Laval asked her, she'd be like, well, whatever your movie. If he asks her, oh, what is your movie? He'll be like, whatever your movie is. Whatever your movie is. What is your favorite food? Whatever your favorite food is. So pretty much just mirrors what the first movie, the part one did, where the ladies are pretty much groomed for the king. So Laval was like, yeah, heck no, I'm not. I want a woman with her own mind, with her own, literally what Eddie Murphy did the other time in the first movie. So then that was when he realized that the barber, the hairdresser lady, was the person that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with. And that was when they hurried to New York. So, oh my goodness, I'm just all over the place with this, but bear with me. So that was when they went to New York. He took the hairdresser lady and went to New York. So now we're now getting to the part where Eddie Murphy brought them back home. So they had this big old celebration for the hairdresser lady and Laval. and it was really fun. One cool thing I thought was also that they played Koroba, they played Tiwa Savage's Koroba, and they also, Davido performed his song Assurance. So I love the West African vibe. I know that was something that people complained about in Wakanda, that even though there were some African beats and whatnot, but they didn't really feel that African song music vibe. So I think they really represented in this movie. So some of my highlights. Okay, let me finish the movie. So long story short, they realized that the boy was not cut out to be king, and eventually the girls will be king. And I forgot this one part too, where the challenger came when Eddie Murphy already went to New York to find his son, to bring his son back home. So he met his daughters. So of course he was like, look at these girls, you know, whatever, where is your dad, where is the man? So it was challenging the girl. Not unbeknownst to him, this girl knows how to hold her own, so she started fighting with them. All the army, she was beating them up. The sisters came and joined, so pretty much they defeated all those challengers. So it just kind of goes to show that, you know, this girl can hold her own, and she's a worthy princess, or a worthy princess, and all that. So they showed that part. So at the end of the movie, Eddie Murphy and Prince Akeem, in this case, and the first daughter had this moment of heart to heart, and they talked. And of course, they didn't show the coronation of the daughter, but it just pretty much alluded to the fact that she would be crowned princess, or the heiress, or whatever, once Prince Akeem was king. So yeah, I think overall it was a funny movie. I would say personally that the storyline wasn't as strong. I had so much hope for it, but it wasn't as strong. I think after the father died, after the James Earl Jones's character died, the father, I think the movie just kind of took a turn for, I don't know, but it was funny. I mean, it's just one of those movies that on the Friday night you just want to chill, relax. I would recommend that. And I would also say support Black owned whatever. I know Black characters. I love watching movies that are predominantly black characters, because, you know, it's taken a while for us to get to this point where you know, we have predominantly Black characters on main screen. So support. I would say do not set your expectations so high, because you will be disappointed. I told you, because the first movie was just a classic. It was a staple in many Black homes, and even white and different races, not just Black and white. You know, many people really enjoyed the first movie. So having this one, I think people's expectations just kind of, you know, that people had really big expectations for this. So I would say don't go with so much of a high expectation, but just, you know, with the chill vibe. It's funny. And if you enjoy good music, choreographed dance, and just a chill storyline, this is a movie for you. So yeah, would I recommend it? I'll give it like a 6 out of 10, just based on the fact that I know they tried. They did a lot of, you know, the music, the dance, the vibe. It was a funny movie, but the storyline wasn't really solid. It wasn't a strong storyline. But overall, I recommend it. Don't go with too much of high expectation. But yeah, that's Coming to America 2. Please subscribe to my channel. I really don't make videos like this. This is just you know, I just thought it would be fun to make, but I typically just make encouraging videos. You know, I have a growth mindset, so I believe in challenging ourselves to be the best version of ourselves and just grow to our best and highest potential. So if you like those kinds of content, please do not hesitate to subscribe. I would love to have you as part of my family, my YouTube family. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.